Wealth, what is it? Is it only about finances, or can health actually be a pathway to better wealth and abundance? Hello teammates, and welcome back to Team Talk with me, Julia Pitsy-Kamey. I am, as usual, your fast track fitness facilitator, helping you achieve better health and fitness from 40 onwards. And I've been in the industry, as you know, for well over 25 years. And today we're going to be talking about this all-important subject of wealth and health and the link. And as you were looking at the link between your wealth, obviously your health, as I've just said, but also about your influence, your status, the knowledge you have, your relationships with yourself and with others, and the time, energy, and experiences that you have, and how all of these things are intertwined. And we're going to be looking at how, this is impacting you on a daily basis in terms of the level of success you're achieving. We're going to show you the evidence about how the health can be impacting wealth and success, and in what way. I'm going to be sharing with you at the end also the reason perhaps you're getting it wrong and the mistakes people make when it comes to improving their health and fitness, and what you need to do, steps you need to be taking to actually make that difference and make that change that is going to dramatically affect the results that you are receiving. So why is this so important? Well, the top 1% of people are now investing even more in health and knowledge. And there's no better time than the present to really look at the research, the evidence, and start taking action to actually leverage your own health and fitness so that you can achieve more success and keep winning. Now, we know to achieve success, whatever that may be for you, takes a lot of hard work, a lot of willpower, a lot of determination. You have to have an ability to withstand the adversity, the challenges that come your way, and the stresses and pressures. And we know through research, the effects of stress and pressure, when it's there over a long period of time, has a dramatic effect negatively on your physical and mental well-being. Now, the evidence is showing as well, and is suggesting that physical and mental health are on an all-time low. And some of the statistics I'm going to share with you now, I think, are going to prove that. In fact, I know they're going to prove that because I've done the research myself and I've had a look into it. Now, we know that 2 billion people by 2050 are going to be over 65. And the problem they're most going to suffer with is mobility issues. And mobility is going to be a precursor to the quality of life. Now, I don't know about you, but I want to be able to live my life for as long as possible, be as active as possible, enjoy my life, and continue to have success. It's really important to me. The other aspect is that I think it's 28 million people in the UK alone suffer with chronic pain, and the studies show that at least between 4 and 20% of people with chronic pain actually don't even know the reason they have chronic pain, because it's not linked to a trauma or an illness. They're just having prolonged chronic pain, which we know affects inflammation within the body. And when that's not dealt with and not nipped in the bud, it actually goes on for a long period of time, and the body will start to break down and go into decline. And we actually notice that this can start for as little as your third or fourth decade, particularly when your muscle quality declines, which it can do if you're not taking steps to look after your health and fitness. Other things we know is that dementia is on the rise. It's set to triple by 2050. How is this affecting your wealth? Well, you can look at the statistics from here in the UK, which is the Health and Safety Executive. I was looking recently over the past few years. And the biggest causes of people taking time out from their work is mental health and musculoskeletal, with 10% being that related to injuries. So the majority is not injuries, it's actually other musculoskeletal problems, mental health like depression, things like that. Now, how is this affecting finances? Well, on average, people are taking 15.8 days a year off each, and this is your average. And the average, according to the figures and the average wages, amounts to about £9,000 a year per person. So you compound that over many years. So these are also uninsured losses, don't forget. So you're not money you're going to be getting back. And if it's someone's taking time off for a long period, that pressure is then put onto other members of staff. And also maybe you have to bring someone else in to do the job. That's impacting the employer, their bottom line at the end of the day. But also it's impacting the person who has to take time off. So there's losses all around. And as I said, they're uninsured losses. So it's big impact on finances for certain. So what can we do about all of this? How can we take steps to prevent this from happening? So let's first of all go through those parts of invisible wealth I said and look at how they're intertwined, and then we can start taking steps to improve our health and fitness and understand what we need to be doing. Now we know muscle quality starts to decline. That's affecting you, as I said, about inflammation and stress and the immune system. All these sorts of things are going to be affected. So how is this affecting your wealth? So let's have a look. Wealth and health. Now, to set up a business or become successful in anything, there's activities you need to do. Some are more physical than others, but nevertheless, you need to be able to do the job in hand. Being able to do the job in hand requires movement. So you need physical mobility and mental mobility and agility in both those areas as well. So you've got to be able to think quick, you've got to be able to move quick, take advantage of opportunities. And being able to do that and do that with comfort and with ease is the most important thing. And to do that, you need to be healthy. You need to be healthy. The better you move, the more at ease you are in your body, the reduction in inflammation and stress, the less pain you suffer, the more positive you feel, the more productive you can be, so on and so forth. So that's the initial link, the sort of very short form of what it is. So let's have a look then if we go on to, let's say, relationships. To create wealth, you need to build relationships, don't you? So personal relationships, but indeed professional relationships. Relationships are really important. Humanity relies on creating relationships, getting to know people. It's really important for society and for happiness. But it's not just about the relationships you build with other people. It's also about the relationship you hold with yourself. When you're healthier, you have a more positive or confident belief in yourself. You know, when you've been to the gym, you always feel good. You have those endorphins going, but it's more than just that. Studies have suggested as well and have shown that the relationship between health and fitness, activity, sport, fitness, the relationship it has with your mental health. So being able to have that confidence and not have that anxiety and stress, or be able to withstand that more positively, requires you to have a really good relationship with yourself. And then that energy shows and goes forward into the relationships you build with other people. How do you build those relationships? Well, let's get into the issue of knowledge, influence, and status. To get knowledge, you have to have mental flexibility. You need to be calm in your mind. When you're in a stressed, anxious state, it actually reduces the blood supply to the brain, so you can't actually think straight. You can't actually do tasks as quickly or as efficiently as you can because you just can't think straight. That's what happens when you go into stress and anxiety. You're basically going into fight or flight mode. So being able to retain that knowledge and go out there and learn and retain that information, the more knowledge you have, the more you're able to talk to people. So when you're going to a networking event and just out and about in your everyday, you can share that knowledge with people. And then you're more likely to be able to influence those people. They're going to be able to take you a bit more seriously. The more they listen to you, the more they take you seriously, the more status you have within your community and within your environment. And when that happens, you're building trust in those relationships. And therefore, people are more likely to partner with you, do business with you. That's just the way it goes, unfortunately. So there we go. Knowledge, influence, and status go hand in hand. Building those relationships that are really important to help make you a success in whatever you choose and get where you want to be and build that wealth, whatever that is. It may not necessarily be a financial thing, but build that wealth for you. So let's go on to the next thing when we're looking at time, energy, and experience. Health gives you energy. There's no doubt about that. Physical energy, mental energy. You put you in that great state. When you have energy, you are more productive. You get things done quicker. That leaves you with more time to spend doing more, creating more businesses, more work, who knows, having fun with family, other activities you may enjoy. You have more time for that, which leaves you open to have more experiences at the end of the day, opens you up to more opportunities as well. And actually the study suggests that if you do 75 minutes of exercise a week, that adds an extra 3.4 years to your life. It's more time. It's well worth putting in those 75 minutes. And the more you do, the more years you get added. So it's perfect. So how do we do this? How do we go about this? Well, let's have a look. What are the biggest mistakes people make when it comes to not getting on with their health and fitness or struggling with their health and fitness? Well, it all comes to do around your behaviours. First of all, around stress and keeping you in this cycle. So we need to get you out of that cycle And it means you have to get a system in place. As you know, I do like to make reference to a lot of sporting development scenarios. So if you think of an athlete, they have seasons. Okay, so they have seasons. They have your pre-season, your competition or in-season, you have your post-season and your off-season. And you used to train differently in each of those seasons, but each of those systems work to get you back to competition level. So when you're in season, the level of fitness, the intensity goes down. Your pre-season is high intensity. When you come post-season, it's recovery. And then off-season, you're doing all the stuff, building that foundation back up so that you can actually get back to that pre-season and competition level. And it's no different to how you structure your health and fitness. Now, I know you may not be an athlete, but you still structure in a similar way by getting a plan, making a periodized plan around it. And this is the mistake. People do not have a process, they do not have a system, and they do not have a plan to follow. They don't know where they've been or where they're going. So the idea is, first of all, understand where you are, what you're dealing with at the moment. Are there any challenges physically, psychologically, that maybe need to be cleared first? And then it's understanding where you are in your season. Are you a beginner, an intermediate, or an advanced? Are you coming back to fitness after having a period of time away? Are you recovering from an injury? Or are you purely a beginner and need to really start and build your body up? Or are you someone who's looking, you're already training, but you're just not getting the results? Do you want to get, build up more bulk? Do you want more power? Are you looking to take part in a sport? Or are you just looking to stave off old age for as long as possible, stay mobile, stay flexible? What are your goals? What are your current goals, and where do you want it to be? The other thing to take into account is what the function of it is for. What is it you actually need it? Is it purely a visual aesthetic, or are you actually leading to something? And that's the same as you would do in any other scenario, whether it's your business or your relationships, whatever it is. You have to understand where you are and where you want to go. And this is a problem, but these are the steps you need to take. I have done a video on it before about the process I go through in terms of the levels. I'm going from what we call a corrective approach, which is a scientific-based approach on creating better movement and reducing the risks of pain and injury, making you feel more comfortable and making exercise easier, and therefore you're able to progress much quicker. So we're looking at that starting point, and it takes you through the different stages of endurance and strength and power. And within that, you then need to look at exercise selection. What you use for strength and power is not what you're going to do in a corrective approach. It's not going to do at the very beginning point. It's not what you're going to do to overcome an injury. You have to build into it, and you have to do it systematically over a specific period of time, depending on how quick you want that. And that has to be measured into a written out program for you. And you need to follow that program. You need to follow that process. Otherwise, you're going to crash and burn. And we don't want you to burn out. We don't want you to fail at the first hurdle. So taking a step back sometimes is appropriate instead of just moving forward. Looking also at just going into the gym and doing what you did in your 20s isn't going to work once you get to your middle ages necessarily. So it's all really about capacity, getting the system in place, understanding your current goals, where you're going, the function behind it, and exercise selection. Really important. Once you get all those in place, your health is going to tenfold. You're going to be able to move quicker. You're going to get more progression. You're going to get the results quicker. And you're going to have that energy. You're going to have more time. You're going to have more experiences. You're going to have more fun, better quality of life. And you're going to be more productive and more producing and ready and confident to go out there into the world and achieve more and more success. So I always say your business is your sport. You are the athlete. Train like one. I hope that's been of help for you today. I've really enjoyed sharing this information with you, and I look forward to seeing you here next time here on Team Talk. Thank you.